Okay. So this had some time to dry. And like I said, this isn't glued on yet. The crane had some time to dry. We're going to put this aside now because this is actually going to be white. And it won't make sense to paint the whole thing and then have to paint this. So we're going to paint this separately. So we're going to put this aside now. I'm going to put it right over here near the Titanic watch. And we're going to move on. We're going to be doing the aft end of the ship now. We're going to start with the lifeboats. So when it comes to the lifeboats, we have it all set to go. And we got the perfect size. So we're going to put these on the ship. And these are 1/400 scale, and they're going to be just what we need. All right, let's see. We need to trim them down. Yeah, there's a little bit on this side, so. That looks good. All right, like I said, the way the blueprints are for the ship, the lifeboats are going to line up perfectly with the smokestack. And they're actually going to go on the deck below the smokestack. So they're going to be going right about there. So we're going to be using the same thing. We're going to use the paper clips because we're going to make the structures that are going to be housing the lifeboats as well as the structure that's going to come up on the side of it. And don't forget there's a mast. We also have to do a mast. So when it comes to the lifeboats for the davits, let me find my pencil. And we're going to mark off right about there. We're going to mark off the front and the side. Just like that. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. Just like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the paper clips. I like the white because we're able to see it, but it doesn't really matter because they're going to be painted anyway. We also have the mast, and I have one here that's in blue that I actually didn't end up needing for something, so I'm thinking we can use that for the mast. When it comes to the mast of the ship, it was just in front of the smokestack, and there's not a lot of room on this one. So let's see. You can see a better picture of it right there. And it's going back ever so slightly, and I can't tell if that's a crow's nest on top or not. Let's see. On this one too, I can't tell if that's a crow's nest. But anyway, there is a mast here, and there is rigging, and there's also the, like I said, the structures that are going to be around a lifeboat. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have the mast, and we're going to put the structures on, and then after they're on, we can trim them down later. But I want to make sure that this is going to be straight. All right, and we're going to use the pin vise. We're going to use the pin vise, and we're going to use the Instacure. All right. So when it comes to the mast, I want to center it. Obviously, it's got to be centered. So I'm thinking right about here. And it's going to be angled slightly backward. So we put it here, that way there we can put the railing up still in the front. And the beauty of the pine is that it's softwood, so we can, it's really no problem drilling into this. All right. See, that looks good? And what we're going to do is we're going to take just a little bit of the Instacure. In this case, it's the MaxiCure. And let's see which end. This looks like we can, the bottom one will be the straighter one. So let's put just a little bit of glue. It doesn't need to be a lot. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it into the drilled hole. Just like that. And when that dries, it's going to be perfect. I'm wondering if we should, let's see. I want it to be straight. You don't want any kinks in it. There. And as it dries, we'll be able to straighten it out more, and eventually we'll cut it. Okay, so I want to do the same thing now for the lifeboat davits. And not only are there a structure where the lifeboat davits are, but there's also a structure in the back that comes up and kind of wraps over. And there's one of those on either side, so we're going to put the marking in for that as well, because that would be, I mean, it looks really close, so it's going to be right about here. And again, I want to make sure we're going to be able to put the railings in. So let's follow that to the other side. So that's good. All right. So now we're going to drill the holes for the davits. And I'm going to go straight down with these because there is going to be an angle, but we can do that after it's dry. And lastly, we have that structure in the back. And again, because it's soft wood, this really drills out nicely. Okay, let's do the same thing. We're going to do it for the port side now. Here we are. All right, now let's have a little bit of fun. We'll put the structures on. For the davits, let's see, we'll use... I'd rather have too much that we need to cut than not have enough and have to add, so we're going to cut these in half. And we'll use the whole thing, just to be sure, because the blueprints will give us an idea of how tall they actually were. All right, where are the snips? Okay, we're going to use one as well for the back pieces. And I was thinking about using one for the flagpole, but it might be too big. It might be out of scale because there's a little flagpole in the back. I think maybe we can use a part of the pipe cleaner from the airbrush kit to get it small enough, because I think the paper clip is going to be too thick. Oh yeah. All right, now I think we can start to glue them in place. Incidentally, when it comes to the boats, they're aluminum and they're going to be painted red. Everything is red, even the inside, and the hull is white on the top and red on the bottom. So we basically paint the whole thing red, and then we'll just put a little bit of the white on the top, so that won't be a problem. They were covered. They did have covers on them, but we're gonna make it where you can see the inside of the boat, so there'll be no covers on these. Anyway, let's do the back structures first. What I like to do is I like to take a nice, good, healthy drop of glue, and I'll put it on so it doesn't get overly gobbed. So we'll put it on both pieces, and this is going to go right here and right here, respectively. So we make sure that they're in, and these structures actually are going to curve in, and we'll wait for that to dry. Make sure that they're plumb. And I think we're going to do the same thing now. We'll do the same thing for the davits. And again, they angled inward towards the ship. We'll do the same thing. We'll put a big old healthy drop, and we'll use it for both. And like I said, we're going to hang the little lifeboats. They'll be hanging in the side, and that's going to be perfect size, perfect shape, and the perfect location of the davits. All right, so let's do the starboard side. I don't like the way that's looking. We're going to use the other end. Yeah, that's better. See the skin of there's like a wrapping on the paper clip, and it was coming off and it was interfering, so we'll just use the other end. That's okay, it's going to be cut well below that line. Okay, so the way it looks right now, we've got port and starboard. We have the davits in place. We've got these in place. These are all set. So we need to let that cure. I think what we can do now is we can either do the hand railings, or we can think about the star that's going to go on the side of the ship. When it comes to the smokestack, there's a couple of things that we're going to put on. There's a structure with a grill. As there was a grill, you could see from the air, and that's that right there, and I think we're going to use this one. This is actually from Titanic, and I know I always have a way of bringing Titanic back into everything. take the protective film off. Alright. So, I want you guys to focus on is this right here. And that's going to be perfect to put onto the smokestack. So let's go ahead and we're going to take this off of the tree. And we'll flatten this out, and let me show you guys what I plan to do with it. Actually, let me show it to you first. See how nice and delicate that is? That's going to be perfect to go on top of the smokestack for the grill. So let's put this on. See, that's just about perfect. It's almost tailor-made for that. See, and maybe if I slide it around, it'll get rid of that gobbing effect. Actually looks pretty good. See that now? So we got the grill on the smokestack, and I think what I want to do now, I actually want to make that centered. There. Since we're working on the smokestack, I think we're going to work on the star. So what I was thinking was the end, this section, as well as the other one. That might be just about perfect. This might be easier than I thought. So what I want to do is we want to get it square. See that? That might be perfect. This is just about going to be perfect. Okay. So I'm going to use a little bit of Scotch tape. There. And we're going to do the star. We're going to draw it out on the tape. Here we are. Hopefully you guys can see that. Here we are. Hopefully that looks good. And we're going to put that, I'm going to show you guys how it's going to go. This is going to be the perfect size. And it's going to be right on there because it's going to be painted and glued on because the star is not painted on. All right. So that's one. And we got to do the other one. That took a while, but we have the star for port and a star for starboard. All right, that's all set. Again, that took a little while, and I think what we're going to do, we're going to paint the stack first, then we'll paint the star, and then we'll glue it on. Because the red and yellow, so what we'll do is we'll paint the whole stack. We'll paint the middle yellow, and then we'll mask it off, and then we'll paint it red. We're using this on the bow section. And there are 2 life rings. And what they're going to do is they're going to go right over here, because then it says Edmund Fitzgerald across on the deck just above the doors. But there are 2 like life raft rings that are going to go on there. So let's put those on. And there's 2. There's one on either side. Just a little dot on either side. That's really all it's going to take. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. You got the 2 rings. And when it comes to the doors now, there are doors underneath the overhang, but we're not going to really be able to see them. So let's think about the doors that are going to be on the deck house. Alright. So we're going to use the doors with the portholes. Alright. Hopefully you can see that. Now there's going to be little portholes. I think there's 1 on this side and there's 2 on that side. So we're going to put the little portholes just like we did on the bow. Alright, now the back. Alright, so hopefully you can see the back. And I think what we can do now is there are a couple of little structures on the back that we can put on. I don't know if they're generators or climate control, but we're going to take a look. Alright, so check that out. Look at those structures, and there's also 2 other things. I don't know if they're radar towers, but we're going to put 1 on either side, on port and starboard towards the back. You just got to cut off the little nub. So I want both of them facing the back. See how that looks? Okay. So we got the little flagpole coming off the back. And I don't really, like on a poop deck of Titanic, they have benches and they have the rear docking wheel, but they don't really have anything on the back of Fitzgerald. So we're gonna do the little flagpole is gonna go there, but I want to do a paper clip, but I think it's gonna be too thick. You know, this might work. This is actually a safety pin. That might be perfect. All right, so let's put the, we're gonna use the pin vise, and I'm gonna put start a little hole. When that's dry, we're going to end up snipping it, and we'll have the flagpole. This might just work out perfectly. All right, I think what I want to do now is we're going to angle in the davits for the lifeboats. See, they're going to be in ever so slightly. Do the same thing for the other side. Yeah, that looks good. See those structures, the way they kind of angle in? Maybe we'll just bring it down just a tad. There. Nice. I think what we're ready to do now is start thinking about the hand railing. All right, so I had some of the hand railing. Going to bend it right there. All right, you know what? I think we need to cut the pin in the back because that seems pretty strong. And we don't want that interfering. So, right about here looks good. See? That way they were still going to put the railing around. So we got to cut off some more railings, so let's do that right now. Alright, so we got 2 of those. Okay, while we wait for all this to dry, let's think about the mast. So the mast is just about double the height of the smokestack. So let's trim the mast down. So the smokestack ends here, and we'll bring it up right about to there. That's about right. Because there is rigging. There's not a lot of rigging, but there is rigging. And we just want to make sure it's in scale, so why don't we go ahead and we're going to try to angle it to the camera the way this picture looks. of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I've loved her since I was a kid. There's just something about her. It's almost like the Titanic of the Great Lakes. But I think she's just beautiful. I don't think these ships get enough love. And the work that they do. Think of the amount of steel that this ship alone brought back and forth. So that's basically what we're waiting on. We're waiting on the glue to dry so we can glue down the rails, and that's it. We got all the structures on the top deck. We have, excuse me, we have the windows. We got the doors on the front and on the back. We got those structures in the back that angle in. We have the sides of the boat where the davits are that are going to hold the lifeboats. There. And that basically, when this is dry, we're going to fold. We'll just fold it in, we'll trim it, and then it'll be all set to go. So, let's take a look at what we got so far. We have the bow section. We've got all the cargo hatch covers going all the way back. And again, we're going to fix the railing. We're going to fold this in to make it nice and straight, but that's only when everything is dry. We got the crow's nest. You can see the mast in the back. We have the smokestack grill. We have the section where the lifeboat is going to go. On both sides, we have the structures. You can see the structures on top. We got the back for the flagpole. The back of the ship, we got the hand railing. So don't look now, but the next time you see the ship, I'm going to have trimmed off the extra railings, so that'll be all set. And we're actually going to be ready to start thinking about priming the ship and painting it. So that's going to be really fun. And again, the lifeboats. They're going to go right there. I don't want to put them in there just in case they get glued down, but that's where they're going to go. So my friends, the next time you see the Fitzgerald, we're going to be getting ready to prime her. And that's going to be really fun because it's going to just bring everything together. We're really going to start to have some fun in the next video. And until that time, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the kind words. And I'll talk to you guys soon.